What's going on, y'all? Um, there were things about the color red and root chakra. Um, there's like, you might be there might be this feeling of burnout, this Nine of Wands energy, and, there's a need to like reconnect with your inner child maybe, and also like that's another reason I'm coming on here, because I'm going to try to be consistent with this and or just in my life because I think it's more my sacral chakras out of whack, but I feel like my there's always this need for me to do things because I'm so watery. I'm very sacral. So I think there's always going to be this need for me to like have to come back to remembering that there's a need for consistency, because people who are already like are very earthly are like, people who like are foodies and like, they have their things that they do, they take naps every day or whatever, like they're very consistent. Like that's probably why they tend to be more balanced and happy, because they're very consistent in their life. So, don't go take notes from them. Don't take notes from me on how to be consistent. Because I be emotional. No, I'm not an emotional mess every day, but I just recently have realized that that's like not, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, I'll take crying over being angry, over like having fights with people. I mean, I'll take that every day, but apparently it's not healthy. So, and it definitely holds you back from doing other things. So, okay, that's out of the way. There's definitely this feeling of burnout of just like, even before I came on here, I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to play the game this way anymore. And there's a very like similar pattern of energy that's coming through. And, they're trying to give like, firstly, be proud of yourself for like the things that you've already gone through. For me, I'm trying to figure out what my unmet needs are, and like with my inner child. And so like one of them for me is like having any kind of encouragement. Like one of those things of like, I guess I have a praise kink because it's not something that I knew about until recently, because I think that I used to, when I was teaching classes and stuff like that, it's like, it wasn't even like people were constantly like applauding me or something. It was just like being in an environment where, you're able to do your like, be in a purpose and like lead and stuff like that. Then, just having people show up, thank you. Just having people show up to your class is encouraging. It gives encouragement to keep going. So, now on this journey, when you're on a self journey, you're having to show up for yourself every day. But then when you're not getting encouraged by anyone around you, and even my kid, who I love and I'll still pour into, it's like he shows his affection more physically, but he also will lash out at me and stuff. I did recently just learn that means that they feel safe with you. So I'm like, all right, I'll take it, but it still is hard. It's just hard in its own way. So you have to keep reminding yourself of that too, when it's like you're getting, people aren't understanding, and it's like, but you're not in my shoes. Like you're not doing the work. So you really don't know what it's like. So any encouragement is greatly appreciated. You guys don't have to do that, because I know this is a thing that I have to figure out how to give to myself. Because there's a letting go of burden. There's a letting go of the thing. I'm getting like letting go of the things that you can't control, or that you've been holding. Like I know this for me as a mom, like worrying about things that don't really matter. So you let some of those things go as you're in this hanged man position, which is like just a surrender in the journey, and you're not really making a bunch of moves. You might not be able to make moves. It might even be that as well, because but you're doing, they keep trying to be like, give yourself the praise that you need, because you've got the opposite of state of confusion right now. So you're doing good. And okay, I don't think I finished that thought earlier. They were giving, like, once you find that stability again, once you're back in alignment, you're right back into that place of like, all right, I'm ready to fight, or I'm ready to be in challenged, or whatever it is for you. But when you're in that state of burnout, or you're just like, I'm over it, it's hard to remember that, you know, you really do love, you really like, we all have a lot of ancestral like energy. Like, it's a weird mix when you're doing this, because it's like there's so much more of like, I just want peace, and I don't want like you definitely don't want to be in like feeling like hypervigilance, or like you're never safe or whatever. You definitely don't want, that's not the energy you want to be in. But then on the other hand, you're like, you get back in your state of power, and you're like, all right, I'm ready to take on the next thing. It's like we all have that part of us that's like very ancestral, because they had to fight to live, to stay alive, you know? So it's like, there's still a lot of that we move through. It's just very mental now. It's very like, you feel it in your body, but it's not an actual, I mean, it feels like a legit fight when you're up against, it's like head to head with somebody who you're in a disagreement with. I mean, that's a fight. It's just different. It's a psychological fight. It's a, can you hold your ground while you're speaking what you need to say kind of thing. Can you stay in emotional control? But that definitely qualifies as a fight for sure. Cause it's one team against the other ancestrally. But we just don't see it till kind of afterward. And you feel that, you know, like them rallying for you or whatever. All right. There's a strong masculine energy of this Magi showing up in the middle. Magician, I'll call him the Magi sometimes. The magician. So that's kind of that reminder too of like, that's ultimately like the journey that you're on, is that like remembering that you have all the resources that you need at all times. It's just fucking hard. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, but like, I really just need a cookie right now. Like, I don't know what that's what it's always something like, I try not to have too much sugar in our house, but it's always something like that when I'm like, I need something. I'm like, I need a fucking piece of cake right now to make me feel happy. Which I never used to be that way, so that's why it makes me laugh. And I think because we've been moving through so much scarcity and stuff, that it's like, that's been a big thing that we've had to go through, is like, I feel like the guys on the ship that run out of resources, and you're like, all right, well, I guess we're just going to eat, we're like, what, you know, like whatever I can find in the pantry that I can put together and stuff. So, I was getting carried away, so I'm trying to come back to the middle. There was something about Libra energy too before I came on. That's finding that there. I guess that's a reminder of like finding your own balance, so that you feel that stability. There's sort of like a deja vu element in this right now, that it's like, I don't know how many other people have felt literally like you're moving through deja vu. Like, you've had so many similar days that you're almost like, okay, something must have happened in a past life where I did this and now I'm doing it again. Like, it's almost eerie a little bit, or just not eerie. It's just sort of like, what the hell? Like Twilight Zone. There we go. It's like Twilight Zone. Sorry, I had a weird itch. It's like Twilight Zone like, and but there's something, okay, thank you. Wow, that's cool. There's something that you're trying to master is what they're giving. So it's like, that's why that there's some sort of something that keeps happening, because there's a piece of your mind that you're trying to master. I definitely feel that for me, because I know it's inner child related. And being stable through whatever is going on. That's why some of these cycles keep repeating. Okay, because that came to me earlier as well. That's fascinating. Okay, to me, to the weirdos, to the nerds out here. That stuff is cool. Okay, because I'm not getting a lot of information either. And they're kind of like they're kind of giving like, you're ready to play the magician. That's kind of why he's like front and center here of like, okay, it doesn't really matter what else is going on, just be the magician. Like, just play the cards that you have and just master and just be the master of your reality. Because when you're in that hangman position as well, it's not really a forward moving. It's sort of like I think we're in a retrograde too. It's sort of like a halt and like assess the situation. Yeah, I'm sorry that was not more exciting. So, but this has to resonate with somebody else who's a weirdo, who's a nerd like me. And that's like, you were like, yeah, I came here to learn lessons, even though it's been extremely dramatic. Not all the time. There have been a lot of seasons of intense drama. And that could have been because of I'm sure because I was all out of whack. So it was like, I was creating that. I'm just trying to see if anything else comes up. They're just giving like, be proud of the progress that you've made. That it's like, you have to think too sometimes of like, you've already transformed and you're living more peacefully now. That's got, again, that's going to be that's that 8 of Cups energy of like, you're like, I'm the shaman, like that's the journey that I'm on. And even if it makes, there's people around me that don't like it and they want to fight back, it's like, this is still the journey that I've chosen. All right. Love you guys.